Although the sun is already high in the sky, its rays don't reach everywhere. Mystery and secrets lay in every bush, under every tree. But in reality, this is what life is. It's only a mystery for mankind. In the dark gloom, only a few blades of grass are shaking, as if they feel the end is near. The Ural owl, Europe's second largest owl species, majestically spies the land. He has good camouflage, but what is it worth if you can't always use it? What sometimes keeps him hidden, at other times highlights. The work of the black woodpecker is one of the forest doctors. It won't disappear without a trace. He doesn't only treat the stately trees, but looks after the fallen ones as well. It's true he can't save them, but perhaps that's not his reason behind it. In the misty forest, I can sometimes hear branches cracking, leaves shaking. With rapt attention, I wait to see what emerges from the dense foliage. The forest wrapped in the colors of autumn provides shelter for wildlife. Doe roam the forest huddled in groups. They are safer like this. The calves from last year are with them as well. Family ties play a big role in their survival. They hurry to the clearing, where they can nibble on dry but still leafy branches. The plant's dead leaves indicate the arrival of the cold season. The moisture circulation slowly stops in them. They fade, they dry, and fall. Although it's passing, it's not sad. It holds a beginning, the beginning of autumn, just as beautiful as the other three seasons. You can't see anywhere that anything would tenaciously cling to life. What's finished its role leaves with dignity, in a way that nobody who was given the visual experience will ever forget. In the higher regions, snow has already covered the trees, giving them a white dress. Between the green pine trees, a few reddish-brown hardwoods stand out. These leaves won't bear it for long, and as soon as the sun warms up their frozen armor, a shower of falling leaves will start. Gray clouds cover the sun. A snowstorm covers everything in white frost. The unstoppable snow just falls and falls, covering everything. For these little feather balls, the siskins, it only means that they have to hold on tight to the branches. And for the forest, it means that it's time for rest, to escape from people. Of course, it doesn't always work out like that. The yellowhammer is among the few singing birds that overwinter here. I'm advancing cautiously, quietly, and suddenly I hear knocking. The black woodpecker is busily removing the dry oak's bark. They seem to be lucky living on the trees, so that theoretically, big snow doesn't influence their life. Reality is different, though, as they get half of their nutrition from the fallen tree trunks, which they are now unable to access because of the thick white snow blanket. The winter landscape is almost untouched. The white snow surface is only broken occasionally by deer tracks. Soon after, I spot the deer. This approximately 80 centimeter tall and 20 to 30 kilograms graceful animal occurs almost everywhere. Underneath the freshly fallen snow, it is still relatively easy to scrape out mulberry leaves, and it's natural that they are continuously surveying the area because of wolves roaming nearby. If they suspect danger, they alert each other and run away. Very clumsily, they use their thin legs to move the snow while trying to stand on top of the steep side. After eating enough, they look for a place where they can rest while being able to keep an eye on the surroundings. I quietly move towards them. Of course, I step on a branch, and they hear me. But because there are branches cracking elsewhere, as well under the weight of the snow, this doesn't disturb them yet. One of them is more cautious though, suspecting something, but not sure what. So he decides to look around, pretending to be bored. He walks across in front of me, taking a few leaves from under the snow. He's looking for another place for surveillance. Then he scrapes a place for himself and lies down in front of me. I can't move now because there is nothing between us, and he is watching me continuously. He is looking, but I don't think he can see me. It takes time before he understands the situation and with graceful movements leaves the scene. Then the rest follow him, of course having no idea what has happened. A long time goes by before finally the sun comes out. The warmth brings out a creature that is rarely seen at this time. Large footprints warn me to be cautious, and at the same time, they fascinate me. The stationary wild animal is at an advantage again because he is not making noise. I can hear the smallest noise. As I approach him, so does a life force grow in me, accompanied by fear mixed with respect. I know my place in nature, and if I respect this, there won't be a problem. The weather quickly changes. It starts snowing by evening. The deer are staying close to the dense forest so that they can easily disappear if they smell danger. They are very cautious and careful, capable of standing still and watching their environment for long minutes. The older stag appearing on the top left corner is checking the ground from a distance and is waiting patiently for any potential threats to emerge. The doe's ranking is also seen at this time. Young ones don't seem to have enough space next to each other, but their attention doesn't suffer. They are watching the movement of the wind as well, which can bring a smell from a predator. After the deer move on, I look for accommodation and tie up my hammock. Evenings in the winter forest can be long, scary, and cold. But if you have sweet memories that you have achieved with a behavior fit for nature, then they warm us up inside, and we can project our peace of mind. Thereby the seemingly harsh environment will become cozy and hosting. This feeling suggests the presence of a force that is present everywhere in nature and our world, all pervasive and influential over everything, just by existing. This makes it possible for harmony and orderliness to prevail in nature, by which everything is interdependent. Fortunately, I can't feel the freezing cold for long because I get numb from my knees down for the next couple of hours. From the Bodok Mountains that border Upper Hadamsik, on the west you can clearly see the snow-covered main ridge of the Carpathian Mountains. The fox can walk easily and travel long distances. A few timid specimens rest in or outside their hollow during daytime and come out in the late afternoon. After he wakes up and finishes his business. Then he goes off hunting. There is a sense of humor in nature as well. The snow is not equally hard everywhere, and so sometimes he wipes his soft furry face in the snow surface. He doesn't forget to be cautious though. He is always sniffing the air and stops now and then for a few seconds to look around. I tie the hammock on a windy, drafty brow. The next day is cloudless and sunny. It's a cold day ahead of me. I notice a large bird between the branches. The Ural owl is attentively watching the ground. This owl species moves during the day as well as during the night. The long-eared owl, unlike the larger species, is capable of standing still on a branch all day. They can do it because they blend in perfectly with their environment. It begins hunting only after dusk. A wild boar herd meanders through the trees. I do not envy them because they have to literally cut trenches in the big snow. While looking around, I hear noises, and soon I find them. While looking around, I can hear noises, and soon I find them. They are nearby in an area surrounded by bushes, rummaging. I try to get close to them, but by the time I get there, they have already moved on. So I follow them for a while. This is somewhat possible in the dense bushes, but filming is more difficult. As much noise as a boar can make when running away, just as quietly, without a branch cracking or leaves rustling, can appear from one moment to another. There is some ancient wilderness in the appearance of the adult wild boar. Soon they reach an area of the woods where there's little I can hide behind. They, however, don't even have to hide, because if they don't move, you can easily mistake them as a dry tuft of grass, stump, or something similar. This winter is quite scarce for the boars as well. Since few acorns have grown in the summer, they substitute their varied diet with beech saplings and the roots in such hard times. An almost 2-meter long and often 150 kilogram body requires a large quantity of nutrition. Not everyone agrees with having to move constantly. There would some that would like to continue feeding, but reluctantly follow the others. On one occasion while walking in the woods, I noticed a light brown, almost yellow spot. When it moves, I'm quite surprised by what I see, and I have good reason to be. In winter, a solitary specimen is not a common sight. This is a special representative of its species. Dark gray and black shades are characteristic to this landscape. I can only guess the reason why he is alone. He needs more food or is driven out of the herd. The wild boar's sense of smell is highly developed and it can hear well, but it's rather short-sighted. There is less chance of survival alone, because it is not easy to spot danger, and maybe by the time he notices, it will be too late. For this reason, boars, like most wild animals, are grouped in winter, even the males, who live their lives alone during the rest of the year. When the herd sets off again, no one stays behind. The sun slowly disappears from the sky. Boars are still on the move. Slowly and a little scattered, the group passes in front of me. There are some who feel my presence, look at me, and move on. I can't forget that short distance is dangerous, because if I let them get too close to me, they may even attack me. This specimen, however, doesn't do that. He bristles, blows, and takes a few steps towards me, then decides to move on. Life is not easy in the field either. Here, too, you have to work for every bit of food. You can't even see the partridges in the snow, only while they're scraping out their daily food, and just when they look around to see if there's any danger approaching. If there's anything suspicious, they start to run away immediately. During the day, the hare stays in a warren dug in the snow. Being a coward, he quickly jumps up and runs away if he can sense anything suspicious. After a good run, he stops to check what he was actually escaping from. Like most of the wild animals, he feels safe at night. He jumps out more relaxed, and then into the middle of the field to dig out his dinner. His favorite is the grain sown in winter, which has started to germinate. But it's possible this security is deceptive. It's possible that security is only an illusion. If we find out what provides it, it can't be called security anymore, because it's easily taken away. The dawn of a new season comes, which brings solace and color to nature.